Howdy do, fella kids. It is the professional Dillweed here, and today we are riding the 2022 Honda Shadow Phantom. But a big thank you to Freedom Power Sports up here in Canton, Georgia. They're your go-to dealership for just about anything. They have some really nice people and a really nice inventory, including this here Honda Shadow Phantom. Yes, it's kind of a long name now that I have said it a few times. But anyway, if you guys are in the area, or if you're not, be sure you come check them out. And be sure to tell them I sent you. Here recently I've had just a little bit of a soft spot for these vintage looking cruisers. They just look so good, and they ride, well, just as good as well. But with this one, I really like the way this one looks. If I was to nitpick about it at all, is I think for what it is, I think these pipes should be matte black, and then it would really look real proper. And I could understand that this tank could be just a little controversial. I'm going to call it army green. Some could argue that it could potentially be baby barf green, but I actually really like it. But I think it might look a little bit better if that back fender was also the same green, as well as maybe the front fender, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'm a real big fan of this, just because this would be a really good entry level cruiser. It is 750 cc's or 749, who cares? It would be a really good entry level cruiser. I'm not saying this would be a very good first bike, well, because I haven't ridden it yet, and I'll be able to come to that thesis at the end of the video. Alright, and with all that out of the way, let's hop on this thing. And let's get her cranked up. The keys down here, well, because cruiser. And sure, it doesn't have the exact sound of some of those big beefier cruisers, but it doesn't sound bad either. And before y'all go off crying, yes, I did in fact let it warm up before doing that, because I had to ride it out of the showroom and I let it idle for a little bit. So with that being said, you can cry me a river. So let's get these mirrors adjusted so we can see who's losing. So with that done, let's get going. Looks like looks like we can just hop right on out, but I jinxed myself before I even said anything. Sure, it's not a fast bike by any means, and it's not intended to be it, but it is still fun, and my lord, is it actually fairly comfortable. I can flat-foot it on both sides, and I am 5'8" on a warm day, if that matters. Ah yes, there's nothing like riding a cruiser on a nice fall day. Over here one-handing it because it makes me feel cool. But you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think of this color. I'm personally actually quite a fan of it, even though it could be potentially be portrayed as boring or ugly. I actually quite like it, but you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think. And I've said it once and I'll say it again: whenever you're sitting at a stoplight on a cruiser and it's just sitting there rumbling away, you just feel ever so more superior to everyone. Did that Jeep just wave to me? Was it because we're the same-ish color? Is there some sort of camaraderie between baby barf green vehicles? And also, did I use the right word? Probably not. Oh wait, I just realized there's another Jeep in front of me, and Jeeps wave to Jeeps. I was gonna almost feel special there for a minute, but I guess one could argue I'm still special, but not the kind of special I'm thinking. Hello there, trikes. Trikes aren't bikes. Anyway, just with this little amount of time that I've spent on it, this bike is very predictable, and I can say that this would be a very with an R6 and an R3. I keep getting distracted, forgive me. But this would be a very good entry-level cruiser, even if this is your very first bike. And it's also not a first bike that's going to entirely break the bank. It comes in at just around $7,800, which isn't too bad for a full-size cruiser, considering... Where are you trying to turn, Mr. Challenger? Considering the Rebel 500 comes in, well, actually not that far below it as far as price goes. But with this, you get the cruiser sound, and with the 500 I'm sorry, but you really don't. I'm surprised about just how good this thing sounds. This tassel over here on my mirror is beating the piss out of my hand. Alright, but now that we're out here on the interstate, well, you have zero wind protection, well, because you do not have a windscreen. But it feels really good. I'm over here doing this 70-mile-an-hour speed limit, and it feels pretty good. But yeah, I actually really like the way this thing feels out here on the interstate. After cruising at, like, say, 70 mile an hour for 50 miles, because that's a good solid long cruise. Well, not that long, but anyway, of having no wind protection, the wind will beat the piss out of you, and that can't be fun. I mean, if you have a kink for having the wind beat you up, then more power to you, but I'm not into that. I'm actually really surprised with just how predictable this bike is. Been on it for maybe like 5 minutes, and you just know exactly what it's gonna do. It's not gonna catch you by surprise by any means. But so I guess that just makes it really good for being a first bike if you wanted to get a full-on cruiser, even though this isn't really a full-on cruiser, but at the same time it is. As I was saying, just everything about this bike is so predictable. I was able to figure out well, where the power band is and everything pretty quick, but I'm actually really surprised with how much I like this thing. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Because while Honda makes really good cruisers, my first bike was a cruiser, with it being a Rebel 300. Say, even if you are on a Rebel 300 right now, this would be a really good step up. Do not go from the 300 to the 500. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You don't get that much of a power gain. Or this would also be a really good option for you if, say, you haven't ridden in a while, you've sold all your motorcycles, but you want to get back into riding, but you don't know where to start. I'd start here. This is a really good bike, because even if you haven't ridden in a while, you'll be able to pick up on it really, really quick. Alright, so if you guys have any other suggestions as to what you want to see me ride next, be sure you leave a comment below, and I'll try my best to get my hands on one. And with that being said, that is where I'm going to start wrapping up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure you show some support by dropping a like. If you're new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button. And most importantly, be sure you hit that booty. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.